Hello everyone, and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At Hope's cabin, Carter signs the LLC document, which would give him power over Forrester Creations, and drops the pen. Hope tells him this will change everything. He's now listed as the director of the LLC. You did it, Carter. He says, we did it. Hope can't suppose of a better person to lead Forrester Creations. He's exactly the person the company needs to move forward. Carter still needs Steffy and Ridge's autographs. Once they've inked, they will no longer be in charge. The paper would give him full control, but they've to be realistic. This will start a revolution. In Forrester's main office, Steffy and Eric are agitating a press release about the end of Hope's line. Ridge doesn't suppose they need to decide that right now and announces he has to go check on commodity. In the design office, Elektra and will spoon. She worries about doing this at work. What if someone walks in? Will imagines they'd be enough jealous that he's about to kiss the most beautiful girl in the world again. They kiss, and Will muses about not wanting to distract her. She says he'll do that indeed if he's not there. Will thinks a lot about her too. He wants to know every little thing about her. Ridge finds Finn working at home and asks if he has a nanosecond for his father-in-law. He's trying to get some explanation about what happened between him and Hope. Finn says Hope's jest had to be dealt with. He thinks Steffy firing her was necessary. Ridge talks about how worried Brooke is right now. Finn says there's no reason for what her son did. Ridge asks if he's sure Hope was coming on to him. However, he needs to know before they issue the press release if there's any possibility that she was ent. In the design office, Elektra thinks being the son of a billionaire is more intriguing than a jewelry developer. Will disagrees and says she's smart, funny, and beautiful. Ivy regards in the door and overhears as he repeats that he wants to know everything about her, like where you grew up. Why'd you come out to LA? Ivy interrupts and tells Will he's as fascinating as his sisters. I've been hearing a lot about you recently. Ivy says she's been telling her aunt about how agitated she's to be working at Forrester. And with you too, Will? Ivy goes on about Forrester being home for her. Will says Elektra's surely made it a place he wants to be. He gets called down and leaves. Ivy teases, you have got it bad for that boy. She knows all too well the Spencer men can be. And easily he feels the same way about you. Elektra worries her history could ruin everything. In the main office, Eric worries about what will be to Zen now. Steffy assures her forefather that they'll use his bents. He has a great future there. Katie comes in with the press release Steffy asked for. She and Eric want to hold off, but Steffy says hope for the future is done. Hope could have stayed at Forrester, but she had to put her hands on her hubby. Steffy likes the brief epistle that Katie has written, but Eric complains it says nothing about Hope's accomplishments. Steffy says she's not retiring, she's been fired. Katie thinks they should stay. There's further to bandy. She tells Eric that Hope claims she was ent coming on to Finn. Steffy saw what she saw, and if she doesn't believe her, she should believe Finn. In the cabin, Carter worries about the cost of a preemption. Ridge is his stylish friend. Hope thinks Forrester is part of him, just as it was her, but she was turned down without an alternate study. They could only go so far because of how effects are at Forrester. Carter muses, it's a family business. Hope felt part of that family at times. Carter says me too, but not so important presently. He asks if they're really going to do this, will they risk everything to take over Forrester? Hope points out that her time at Forrester is over, but his is ent. Carter could use the power of the LLC to right the boat. Hope goes over wearing the lingerie for Carter. However, Ridge and Steffy would question his decision timber if they came clean. Carter thinks Steffy is a great businesswoman, but she's lost perspective. He can't allow her treatment of Hope to stand. You're an alleviation, Hope. She's been underrated at Forrester. Hope says, so have you, and that has to change. She picks up the document and says this could be the answer to securing their futures. We just need to get Ridge and Steffy's autographs. In the main office, Katie asks Steffy, what's the rush? Steffy reminds her she's the bone, who wants the press to talk about commodity differently. Eric advocates for using further time. Steffy thinks they need to do it and move on. She asks Katie to shoot the release to Hope, so she's not blindsided. At the Precipice house, Finn understands that Ridge is in a tough spot. He says he and Brooke will be fine, but this is a reproach, and it's the last thing the company needs. At the cabin, Carter tells Hope if he's doing this, he needs her by his side. She says, you know I've your reverse. He laments that Ridge and Eric didn't like his offer. Hope says the status quo will no way change unless they do commodity about it. Carter complains the company is getting more dysfunctional by the day. He knows how good it could be. Hope says, it'll be. Carter wonders what the Logans have to do to be taken seriously and appreciated. I suppose you've earned it. Hope smiles over Carter taking up for the killers and seeing her worth. She and her mama are thankful. Hope gets an announcement and picks up her phone. She tells Carter that Katie has posted the press release she's supposed to shoot out. She reads about hope for the unborn ceasing product and its creator, Hope Logan, moving on. She cries. Steffy's not backing down. It's really over. Carter pulls her close. No, it's not. Not indeed close. Hope picks up the LLC document and says Forrester deserves a leader with a heart, who's ready to take the company to new heights. She tells Carter there has to be a change, a new period. She'll be right by his side. Carter nods. Let's do it. She laughs. Let's do it moment. They kiss passionately. Carter Palm may be short-lived. Does Carter actually suppose Steffy and Ridge will just sit back and accept him stealing the Forrester CEO seat? Carter is risking a whole lot for what may turn out to be a veritably brief period of price. Since Carter is resorting to purposeful deception on this LLC contract and misusing the power of his position, there's going to be trouble. Ridge and Steffy may eventually go after Carter for fraud if he manages to pull this off. This could launch a major reproach that ends Carter's career and brings legal consequences he really should have anticipated. Of course, Carter might enjoy a little stint on the Forrester throne where he reinstates Hope and her line. Maybe Carter will also get the ball rolling on his global luxury brand idea and do whatever differently he sees fit as the company's new leader. Still, B&B spoilers suggest Carter could eventually crash and burn in further ways than one. For starters, Hope for the future may continue to tank despite Carter's sweats to save it. Carter may also find that the Forresters were right to believe his transnational luxury empire plan was too parlous. What if Carter fails big time and threatens to do serious damage to Forrester creations in the process? Anyhow, Carter is working to gain power through a sneaky strategy that could boomerang spectacularly. This is a sharp situation where Carter's conduct will inescapably come back to hang him. Carter may get a brief palm, but he's not going to master Steffy and Ridge long term. Rather, Ridge and Steffy may get the upper hand back by throwing some legal ramifications Carter's way. Although Carter has been making prognostications about the great effects he could negotiate, he may eventually lament sinking so low, especially if there are disastrous results. Carter has further drama ahead of him, so stick with us for updates on any bad news that's brewing.